225.498. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Raimo Pedersen has a best lap time of 224.661. Oh yeah, these practices aren't just a walkabout in the park. It's here that races are often won or lost.
Absolutely. Back home in North Carolina, we emphasize the setup. A few tweaks during practice can lead to major gains on race day.
Hey Hal, you reckon these drivers ever get tired of going round and round during practice?
Well, Rob, repetition is the key. Every lap gives you data, insights, and an edge over the competition.
Watch as Mike O'Hagan takes it nice and easy on this outlap. It's not just about warming up the tires, it's about getting into that mental pit lane, tuning into the race mindset.
For sure, Rob, they're calibrating everything: the brakes, the steering, the throttle response. It's a crucial part of laying down the groundwork for a successful practice session.
Alright, Raimo Pedersen has put down a 224.698. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that BCRC Mods HM Chevrolet.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
And off goes Megasaurus 55, easing into the rhythm of Circuit Pity, SAH. This lap is like the first sip of your morning coffee, waking up the sensors, priming the engines.
Yeah, it's about syncing up with the machine, getting that perfect harmony between driver and car. It's like a prelude to a symphony that's about to unfold on the track.
And there's Andreas Dittmann, easing out onto Circuit Pity, SAH. It's like the first step on a long hike, finding your footing before you hit full stride.
Right, and every racer knows this outlap is precious. It's their first handshake with the track today, feeling out its mood and temperament.
Look at Megasaurus 55 go, they're really giving it some jandle now. The first flyer is always a bit of a reconnaissance mission, a mix of caution and raw pace.
You bet, Rob. They're mapping out the track, feeling out the grip levels, and getting a sense of how the car's performing today. It's a crucial lap for building confidence.
Jury Yu's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 2:42.009. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Patrick Schwanz is getting to grips with the BCRC Mods HM Mercedes-Benz in this practice session. You know, mate, some folks wonder why these drivers spend so much time in practice. But it's just like prepping a Barbie, you gotta get it right before the big show.
Exactly. Rob, practice makes perfect, and in racing, perfect can be the difference between pole position and the back of the grid.
Mike O'Hagan's on the outlap, getting a taste of the tarmac. It's like sniffing the cork before a good wine, first impressions matter.
Exactly. They're assessing the grip, the balance, the whole shebang. You can learn a lot in these quiet moments before the throttle really opens up.
With just 94 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Raimo Pedersen posted a 2:25.202 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Smells like Wee is rolling out for the first sniff of the track. It's all about feeling the car, the tarmac, and getting the mind in the zone.
Absolutely, Rob. The out lap is like the opening chapter of a book that sets the tone for the whole story. They'll be checking how the car's responding, getting a real feel for the conditions today at Circuit Pity, SAH.
There's Eddie G, gently nudging the beast as they head out. The out lap is where you whisper to the car, "Let's dance," before the real party starts.
You got that right. It's a gentle waltz before the full-on rock concert of the race. They're testing the waters, getting a feel for every bend and straight of Circuit Pity, SAH.
There's no mucking around for Patrick Schwanza Euro, straight down to business on this first flyer. They'll be keen to see what times they can clock in early on.
Yeah, and it's not just about speed. It's about rhythm, finding that flow around circuit pity, SAH. Getting into that groove early can set the pace for the whole session.
There's the first flying lap for Jury U, hitting 234.615. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Mate, sometimes I reckon the pit wall looks like they're controlling a spaceship with all those dials and knobs.
You're not wrong. Each of those adjustments, from brake bias to differential settings, has a profound effect on car behavior. It's like tuning a guitar, but instead of strings, you're tweaking mechanical symphonies to get the car singing just right on the track.
Mate, these drivers aren't just burning rubber for the fun of it. They're chasing the ghost, that perfect lap that's always just out of reach.
Absolutely. Back in my racing days, I used to call it chasing the dragon. It's that feeling when you know there's still a little more in the tank, a fraction of a second to be found.
Assetto crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 226.067. They're getting to grips with circuit pity, SAH, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Mr. Bang is on the outlap, not just warming up the tires, but also warming up their instincts, getting the racer's intuition dialed in.
True that. They're getting the feel of the track, the car, the conditions. It's all about setting the stage for what's to come.
Andreas Dittmann is on their first practice flying lap. Look, it smells like we taking it nice and easy, a smart move. Like a chess player contemplating the opening move, they're planning several steps ahead.
Spot on. They're mentally mapping each corner, each straight. It's not just about the car, it's about strategy and foresight.
Mike O'Hagan is in T5. Here we go, folks. The atmosphere is electric as the drivers prepare to unleash their machines on the track at Circuit Pity, SAH for the qualifying session. What a performance from Seppo. They currently occupy third on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position and secure a favorable starting spot?
Absolutely, Rob. Seppo has shown great potential to secure third. It's now a matter of channeling that momentum into a strong performance during the race.
Impressive work from Smells Like We, who has claimed 6th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position. It's an impressive showing by O'Hagan, currently in 7th. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher?
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Mike has done a fantastic job to claim 7th. The challenge now is to convert this opportunity into a strong race result.
A solid qualifying performance by Smells Like We, positioning them in 6th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners. And there goes Andreas Dittmann, currently in position 9. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result. Impressive display by Patrick Schwanz, currently sitting in position 3. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position. Patrick Schwanz has completed their outlap. A strong showing from Roll Postma as they currently sit in 9th. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve. Currently in 10th, Raimo Pedersen has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position. Raimo Pedersen has completed their outlap. Incredible drive by Mr. Bang so far, earning him 8th on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up?
I completely agree, Rob. Mr. Bang has positioned themselves impressively in 8th. However, it's crucial for them to keep pushing to potentially improve their starting position.
Smells Like We has put in a great effort and currently holds 4th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position? Smells Like We has just completed a lap in 2:32.440. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. Jury U has positioned themselves well in 5th during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start. Jury U has completed their first flying lap in 2:34.794. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Raimo Pedersen has just completed a lap in 2:24.627. Their best lap so far is 2:24.627, putting them in P1. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? A solid performance from Megasaurus 55 as they currently hold position 6. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid.
Great analysis, Rob. Megasaurus 55 has shown.
Megasaurus 55 has completed their outlap. What a performance from Andreas Dittmann. They currently occupy 8th on the grid. Andreas Dittmann has just completed a lap in 2:41.179. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. And there goes Smells Like We, currently in position 5. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result. Smells Like We's latest lap at 2:31.318 isn't cutting the mustard. They're sitting in 6th, which means there's a fair bit of ground to make up.
Yeah, Rob, it's a decent time, but in this game, decent won't get you to the podium. They'll need to dig deeper and find some extra pace.
Impressive display by Jerry Yu, currently sitting in position 7. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position. Jerry Yu has some work to do as that 2:32.041 is only good enough for 7th. What a fantastic showing from Raimo Pedersen in qualifying. They currently hold the top spot and are in prime position for a strong starting position. Their lap times have been exceptional, and they have showcased their talent and determination.
Absolutely, Rob. Raimo Pedersen is making their presence known with their outstanding performance. Their competitors will need to dig deep and find something special to challenge their supremacy.
Looks like Raimo Pedersen is making a statement, securing a spot in 1st.
Yep, Rob, but there's always room for improvement. Smooth, consistent laps might just be the key to climbing even higher before this session wraps up. It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
A strong showing from Seppo as they currently sit in 2nd. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve. Megasaurus 55 has completed their first flying lap in 2:27.581. A solid qualifying performance by Patrick Schwanz, positioning them in 5th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners.
Couldn't agree more, Rob. Patrick Schwanz has positioned themselves impressively in 5th. Now, they need to build on this foundation and strive for an even better race result.
Incredible drive by Smells Like We so far, earning him 7th on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up? Smells Like We's last lap at 2:31.012 has them languishing in 7th. Time slipping away, and they need to find some magic on the track.
Absolutely, Rob. It's crunch time, and they've got to push that BCRC Mods HMACAs beyond its limits if they want to claw back into the top 5.
It's an impressive showing by Jerry Yu, currently in 8th. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher? With Jerry Yu clocking at 2:31.786, they've got themselves a mountain to climb, stuck in 8th.
They're not out of the fight yet, Rob, but it's going to take some serious wheel work to make up that gap. The clock's ticking, and they need to make every lap count from here on out.
Roel Postma has secured a respectable 6th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance?
You're spot on, Rob. Roel Postma's current position of 6th is a testament to their skills.
Roel Postma has just completed that lap in 2:26.708. Their best lap so far is 2:30.188, putting them in P6. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? Currently in 5th, Patrick Schwanz has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position. Patrick Schwanz has just completed a lap in 2:27.949. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. What a performance from Smells Like We. They currently occupy 7th on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position and secure a favorable starting spot? I'm thinking Smells Like We could benefit from tweaking their tyre strategy. That last lap at 2:31.579 isn't cutting it for 7th. A switch to a softer compound might give them the edge they need.
Spot on, Rob. A softer tire could provide that extra grip, but they'll have to manage tire wear carefully. It's a risky play, but it might just pay off.
A solid performance from Jerry Yu as they currently hold position 8. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid.
Absolutely, Rob. Jorg Yu has put in a remarkable effort to secure 8th. The competition is fierce, and they'll need to stay focused to defend their position.
It's about time Jerry Yu considered a different approach. With a 2:38.945, they're stuck in 8th. Maybe a change in brake bias could give them more control in those hard braking zones.
That's a solid point, Rob. Better braking control means they can brake later and harder, making up precious time in the corners.
It's a beautifully calm day here at Circuit Pity, SAH, as we're getting ready to kick things off. Raimo Pedersen will be feeling confident starting from pole position.
But it's also a nightmare if they can't hold on to it. Let's see how they will handle the pressure.
We're seeing Seppo in the second spot.
It's like they're on the outside looking in. Can they make their way to the front of the pack?
As the green flag drops, keep an eye on Megasaurus 55 starting in third position.
What can they do with that BCRC Mods H.M. Jaguar D-Type from here?
Starting from the fourth position on the grid, we have Patrick Schwanz.
Patrick Schwanz will be taking no prisoners today.
We see Alex GR sitting in the fifth spot. Roll Postma is lining up sixth.
That BCRC Mods H.M. Austin Healey looks like it has some potential.
In the middle of the pack, we have Smells Like We starting from the seventh position on the grid. Starting from 8th on the grid is a good position for Jerry Yu to launch an attack. Sitting in 9th is Mr. Bang.
Another mid-pack start for Mr. Bang.
Andreas Dittmann will be looking to gain ground quickly as they start from 10th on the grid.
We've not seen the best from Andreas Dittmann yet.
Eddie G will need to be on top of their game starting from 11th on the grid. Blimey, the race has kicked off. Some of these blokes are quicker off the mark than a Roo with a tailwind.
You can feel the tension thick as Carolina barbecue sauce. These early moments, well, they can set the tone faster than a fiddle in a bluegrass band.
The drivers are jockeying for position. Raimo Pedersen will be looking to get off to a good start and consolidate their position. It's brilliant to see such a full grid here today. Is there a better sight than a field of elite racing drivers battling for position? This is going to be one hell of a race. I can already feel it. Bit of a cruisy start for Smells Like We, just filling out the track at Circuit Pity, SAH. You know, like a dingo sussing out the lay of the land.
There are a few drivers with a point to prove, and a few with some grudges to bear. Will we see a clean race today? The
stewards will be hoping that there aren't too many incidents for them to pick over when the dust settles on this one. These early salvos will shape the outcome of this race. A brilliant maneuver from Smells Like We, who has just moved up the field.
Absolutely. Smells Like We is really putting on a clinic out there, and they're making it look easy.
These drivers, top-notch athletes. It's not just about being quick. They've got stamina, reflexes, and they've got to think faster than a kangaroo on a trampoline.
I'd pay to see that. A kangaroo on a trampoline? But yeah, their mental and physical game has to be on point for these races.
Smells like We's more lost out there than I was after a night at the Gold Coast. And at least I woke up with a kebab in hand. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Mr. Bang is proper nipping at Andreas Dittmann's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell.
This is the moment where legends are made. These drivers will go down in history as the ones who fought tooth and nail for the top spot.
The action is non-stop as Roll Postma shadows Patrick Schwanz through every twist and turn, determined to claim fifth.
This is where the mental game comes into play. Who will keep their cool under pressure? Roel Postma or Patrick Schwantz. It's anyone's race.
Not much room to breathe for Andreas Dittmann with Mr. Bang trailing so close. I reckon we'll see a move soon, especially at T2.
If Mr. Bang isn't careful, they might end up turning this high-speed chase into a synchronized spinning routine. And trust me, that's not a crowd pleaser.
It looks like Andreas Dittmann is pulling away from Mr. Bang. The gap is continuing to grow as they head through T5. Huge shout out to the admins at Assetto Corsa friends for making this all possible. Without their hard work and dedication, we wouldn't be able to witness this incredible event.
That's right, Rob, and the excitement is palpable. I can feel it in my circuits. I mean, this is the kind of race that people will be talking about in the bar. We're witnessing history in the making.
Things are heating up as Mr. Bang closes in on Andreas Dittmann. The gap between them is down to practically nothing. Things are getting spicy as Roel Postma is breathing down Patrick Schwanz's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them. The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this.
This is getting heated. With Mr. Bang nipping at the heels of Andreas Dittmann, they're gonna make T12 one to remember.
You reckon these drivers do any off-track training? Maybe a bit of kangaroo boxing?
Haha, if they do, sign me up. But I think most stick to wrestling with the steering wheel.
The pressure is really on for Mr. Bang in 9th as Jerry Yu is closing in. This is where experience and skill really count.
Yeah, Jorg Yu is likely going to be sniffing up the inside of Mr. Bang as they come into T15.
It's a close race between Jerry Yu and Mr. Bang in 9th.
You know what they say, keep your friends close, and your racing rivals even closer. Looks like Jorg Yu is taking that advice to heart today.
This is what it's all about, folks. Mr. Bang is in hot pursuit of Andreas Dittmann, who's just trying to stay ahead.
That's right, Mr. Bang is determined to pass Andreas Dittmann and secure a higher position.
You know, Andreas Dittmann, if you were any slower, you'd be going backwards. But good on ya for making Jerry Yu work for it. A strategic misstep perhaps? Andreas Dittmann's place has shifted to 10th. The plot thickens. It's hotter out there than an Aussie summer day, mate. Reckon Andreas Dittmann can catch some shade behind Jerry Yu?
Shade? Here, we call that drafting. Let's see if they can stay cool and make a move. If not, there's always the AC in the pit. This ain't a track, it's a coliseum, and the gladiators are putting on one hell of a show.
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Alex GR is breathing down the neck of Megasaurus 55, not giving him any room to relax.
If Alex GR gets any closer to Megasaurus 55, they'll need to start sending out wedding invitations.
Oi, Jerry Yu, might want to chuck a UEY. With Mr. Bang that close, you'd think you owed them money. And between us, I know a bit about that. Raimo Pedersen's duffed it up. They're gonna need more than a coldie to forget that one.
Holy smokes, Raimo Pedersen's serving up some backyard barbecue with that smoke show. Just missing the ribs.
If I had $1 for every time Mr. Bang closed a gap like this, I'd have enough for a pint at the local. Get ready, Jerry Yu, the thunder from down under is coming. Wait, oh mate, smells like Wee's impersonating a lost tourist. Did someone forget to tell them it's a race, not a bushwalk? By the looks of it, Mr. Bang in 9 is keen to throw another shrimp on the barbie and crank up the heat on Jerry Yu. Hold on to your stubbies.
The gap between them is now just over 1.3 seconds. Who will come out on top?
Good on ya, Alex GR. Sorry to cut in here. Oh, mate. That's how the old man used to drive after a couple of bevies at the pub. Not the right line, but definitely entertaining.
Gee whiz, Alexker's lost direction faster than I lost my youth. Welcome to the club.
Blimey, Mr. Bang's gunning it in 9th. Just a whisker behind Jury U. Hope he's got his budgie smugglers on, cause things are about to get wet and wild. The crowd is on tenterhooks as Alex GR in 7th chases after Smells Like Weed. The gap is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Can Alex GR find a way to catch up?
You know, Alex GR reminds me of my dog chasing its tail, persistent and entertaining. But I hope for them, there's a better end result in sight.
The gap between Alex GR and Smells Like Weed is widening. It's now up to 13.0 seconds. Ladies and gents, we've got ourselves a high-speed pursuit. Mr. Bang is stalking. Hold on a second. Just like my hope in finding the one, Andreas Dittmann's direction seems a bit lost right now. Buckle up. Roll Postma is all over Patrick Schwann's like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action?
When I was racing, we had a saying, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. Roel Postma is definitely living on the edge today.
It's not going to plan for Roel Postma. They are still behind Patrick Schwann's and the gap is increasing. I don't think they have an answer for this right now. The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown?
Hey Rob, ever seen a cat toy with a mouse? Kind of feels like what Mr. Bang is doing to your you right now, doesn't it?
Crikey, Alex Gur's playing hardball today. Closing off those gaps like a tight-knit woolly jumper. Good luck weaving through that one, Jury U.
I tell you what, Alex GR is putting on a clinic out there. Protecting that spot like it's the last piece of Mama's fried chicken.
Breaking alert. This is a disaster for Alex GR in the BCRC Mods H. M Maserati coming into the pits and isn't going to do much to improve their chances in this race.
Certainly not where they want to be at this stage in the race, that's for sure Rob.
Hold on to your stubbies. Alex GR is closing in on Mr. Bang like a bachelor at the end of a Bucks night. Hope Mr. Bang either brought some lube or protection.
Will Alex GR be able to make a move and pass Mr. Bang?
The battle for 7 is heating up as Mr. Bang tries to catch Jury U in P7.
As we say in North Carolina, if the porch light's on, someone's home. And Mr. Bang's making it known. He's right there, waiting to make his move on your U.
Oof, if Andreas Dittmann was a kangaroo, they'd be roadkill by now. Come on, mate, put some pep in that step.
My mama used to say, you can't shine if you don't try. Guess Andreas Dittmann missed that lesson. Just like my pie-making class.
Andreas Dittmann's falling behind Alex GR at a rate of knots. They're going to need some serious pedal power to close that gap. It's a brilliant day for racing, and the drivers are putting on a show.
Absolutely. What a great race we are witnessing today. These drivers are giving it their all, and it's a thrill to watch them compete at this level.
They're really pushing themselves and their machines to the limit, and it's paying off with some incredible driving.
It's a pleasure to be here today, Rob. You really can't beat the excitement of a good race, especially one as competitive as this.
Like a scene from a thriller, Roel Postma's on Patrick Schwann's tail, hungry for that spot.
It's a game of strategy now as Roel Postma hunts down Patrick Schwann's. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
It's not looking good for Roel Postma. They are still behind Patrick Schwann's and the gap is increasing. They are gonna need to dig a bit deeper to turn this around. The gap might be more than a second, but Seppo is showing persistence. Kind of like me trying to open a pickle jar. Keep at it, and something's got to give. Seppo is trying their best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with Raimo Pedersen at the moment. With steely determination and laser focus, Roel Postma is homing in on Patrick Schwanz. The battle lines are drawn.
Well, butter my biscuit. Roel Postma's hot on Patrick Schwanz's tail, and not in the way you're thinking. There's some serious wooing going on at Circuit Pity, SAH today.
Well, butter my biscuit. Roel Postma is no slouch, mate. That lap time's gonna give Patrick Schwanz some grey hairs. The gap between Raimo Pedersen and Seppo is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Raimo Pedersen to bring Seppo into play.
If this was a country song, Raimo Pedersen would be the one riding off into the sunset, and Seppo would still be tying their boots.
Well, butter my biscuits, Hal. Raimo Pedersen is watching their lead over Seppo shrivel faster than a prune in the sun. We're down to just 7.0 seconds. This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Roel Postma is chasing Patrick Schwanz in P4. If Roel Postma doesn't pick up the pace, Hal, they'll be as relevant as an ashtray on a motorbike. Geez, Roel Postma's on Patrick Schwanz's tail like a dunny door in a thunderstorm. But passing? That's another kettle of fish.
Surely they've got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
Patrick Schwanz is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace. It's like watching a cheetah chase its prey. Roel Postma's got Patrick Schwanz in their crosshairs. In a race where seconds count, Mr. Bang is counting on less of them between themselves and Jerry Yu. Much like I'm counting on less seconds until lunchtime. Looks like Jerry Yu is legging it from Mr. Bang. The gap's growing like a well-watered waddle as they zoom through T5. Mate, I've heard the drivers talking about their car setups. It sounds more complicated than assembling an IKEA bookshelf.
You're not wrong. Back home, we just say it's like trying to line dance on a slippery floor. Takes a lot of tweaks and twists to get it right.
Coming into T15, the fight for third is heating up. Who will be the first to blink?
It's a battle for position as Megasaurus 55 tries to make a move on Patrick Schwanz. This is what racing is all about.
It seems like Megasaurus 55 is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace. The excitement is palpable. This is going to be a race for the ages.
The drivers are executing their strategies to perfection, making the most of every opportunity. This is what top-level racing is all about.
The adrenaline is pumping as Roel Postma gets within striking distance of Megasaurus 55 in their race for fourth.
With Roel Postma on the hunt, Megasaurus 55 better not blink. Every split second counts in this tango.
Mate, Roel Postma's creeping up on Megasaurus 55 like a dingo on a picnic. Must have tweaked that brake bias a touch to the rear.
Now, ain't that something? Roel Postma is right on it. Just needs to keep the pedal to the metal to tailgate Megasaurus 55.
We're watching Megasaurus 55 in 4th, and is currently being hounded by Roel Postma with a gap of just 0.3 seconds.
Yeah, I really can't see them holding on to this place for much longer.
No worries for Megasaurus 55, who's leaving Roel Postma for dust, as though they're a parched bloke chasing the beer van.
Megasaurus 55 is controlling the track like a seasoned hound dog on the hunt, making it harder than a preacher's knee for Roel Postma to overtake.
Blimey, Roel Postma is sticking to Megasaurus 55 like a kangaroo to her joey. At this rate, they'll be side by side as they hit T12.
The chase between Roel Postma and Megasaurus 55 is like a high-speed game of tag only. The stakes are much higher.
A great moment for Roel Postma, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. Hold on to your hats. Megasaurus 55 is gunning for Roel Postma. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend?
Should things go awry, Megasaurus 55 and Roel Postma might find themselves giving a whole new meaning to the term tandem drifting, though I doubt they'd enjoy it as much as the spectators.
Megasaurus 55 is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 9.57 seconds down.
Can Megasaurus 55 refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they're capable of?
And Roel Postma is having to make that BCRC mods HM Austin Healey as wide as possible to try and keep Megasaurus 55 behind them.
This is a tight race and Roel Postma is doing a great job of holding them off. It will be interesting to see.
Breaking development. Smells like we has decided to pit. Wow, Megasaurus 55 is really pushing hard to catch up to Roel Postma. There's blood in the water for 4th place. It's not coming up roses for Megasaurus 55. Hold that thought. Hold the phone. It looks like Smells Like We has been called into the pits. Oh, talk about a tango on tarmac. Roel Postma is dancing closer and closer to Patrick Schwanz. You can feel the tension as they approach T7. Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Mr. Bang is in the pits. Whoa there, Megasaurus 55 is sticking to Roel Postma like glue. You reckon Roel Postma is feeling the pressure? Cause I sure would.
One wrong move and we could see a spectacular new synchronized pirouette performance by Megasaurus 55 and Roel Postma, though
Breaking alert. Blimey, jury, you must have spotted a pub off the track. That's the only reason any self-respecting Aussie would swerve that way. No room for error here. Megasaurus 55 is breathing down the neck of Roel Postma, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move. Things are going according to plan for Jury Yu, who is currently 7th. Mr. Bang is gaining on Jury Yu quicker than a croc on a wallaby. It's a blink and you'll miss it situation with 9.3 seconds separating them.
like a fox in the henhouse, Mr. Bang is causing all kinds of trouble for Jorg Yu.
The drivers are showing their mettle today. It's a privilege to witness their skill on this challenging track.
The stakes have never been higher. This is a battle of skill and nerves.
That's right. These drivers are really pushing themselves to the limit, and it's incredible to see the level of focus and determination they're bringing to the track.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of courage to compete at this level.
Hold up a mo, mate, are they packing something extra down under? Jury Yu's just rocketed into 6th. Roel Postma is pitting. It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while. What a move, Mr. Bang has moved up to 7th. Sorry to interrupt here, but Roel Postma has pulled into the pits. By the looks of it, Patrick Schwanz is making sure Megasaurus 55 gets a full view of those rear lights. It's like a prolonged "good day" without the handshake.
Back in my day, when you had someone on your tail, you'd give them the old razzle-dazzle. Patrick Schwanz has got that.
Hold up a mo, I don't think that's the fastest way around Circuit Pity, SAH. While Megasaurus 55 is not under immediate threat from Patrick Schwanz, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position. It's going to be tough. Jury Yu is a master at defending their position. Is there enough time for Alex GR to make a move? They're going to be even more determined to hold on to that position. Looks like Jury Yu's letting others have their 15 seconds of fame. Now strolling at 9th. Even though Patrick Schwanz is a fair way behind Megasaurus 55, they hold on a moment. Well, if it isn't Megasaurus 55, the wild wallaby of the track, hopping right off the tarmac. 3 cars in perfect formation, creating a moving train on the circuit. They're using the slipstream to gain an advantage, but who will make the decisive move?
I'm on the edge of my seat, Rob. The door-to-door action is exhilarating. The bravery required to go side by side like that is something only the best drivers possess.
Mate, Megasaurus 55's stuck at the Barbie waiting for their snag, and Roll Postma's already on to dessert.
Kinda like when the pie is out of the oven but you're still kneading the dough. Megasaurus 55's gotta catch up. It's like a barn dance shuffle. Megasaurus 55's gotta find their partner and quick step back into line, while Roel Postma's leading the dance with flair.
You know, racing is all about strategy. It's like choosing between a sausage sizzle and a meat pie.
Sausage? Sizzle? Why not just grab a burger and call it a day? But I get your point. Strategy is everything out here.
Would ya look at that gap? Smells like we's got a better chance of finding a sober Aussie on Australia Day. But hey, we love an underdog. Go get them, Tiger.
Y'all remember the tortoise and the hare? Well, smells like we's neither. More like a snail with commitment issues.
In the midst of this high-octane spectacle, Seppo's skill is shining through as they claim second.
Indeed, but in the fast lane, there's no time to relax.
Hold on a moment, it looks like Patrick Schwanz has been called into the pits. Sorry to interrupt here, but Megasaurus 55 is in the pits. Incident alert, Megasaurus 55 is pitting. Oh no, what's this? Patrick Schwanz has decided to pit. Any bloke or Sheila saying Assetto Corsa friends isn't top-notch is a few kangaroos short of the top paddock. Hold on a second, well, crikey, Patrick Schwanz has taken a detour just like I did when I tried to change my car's oil. Ended up with a flooded garage. Looks like Patrick Schwanz is trying to chase down Roll Postma, but right now it feels a bit like my attempts at dieting. A lot of hard work with slow results. Watching Roll Postma try to close that gap on Seppo is like watching someone try to catch an ice cream truck on foot. Hope they've got good shoes.
I agree. Roel Postma is putting in the effort. Sort of like me at karaoke night. Not sure about the results, but full points for enthusiasm.
A solid performance from Raimo Pedersen, who is holding down first.
Couldn't agree more. Every lap is a story, and right now, Raimo Pedersen's chapter from first is riveting.
As a former driver, how did you manage the physical demands of racing?
It's all about preparation, Rob. Drivers undergo rigorous fitness training.
Wait,
Did we just witness a gambit?
it seems Seppo is recalibrating, now at 4th.
Racing's like good old southern barbecue. Slow and steady. Maybe Seppo is just marinating a bit before the big sizzle.
Look at Seppo trying to close that gap on Patrick Schwanz. Kind of like me trying to get close to a decent Barbie back home.
Barbie? Oh, you mean a barbecue. Yeah, but over here it's like trying to catch the last slice of pizza at a Super Bowl party. You can see that car bouncing around as they ride the curves. It's a risky move that could end in disaster. Someone shook the board?
Seems so. Seppo's taken a slide, but knowing them, it's just a part of the dance. Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Raimo Pedersen has pulled into the pits. The Echo braking update. Raimo Pedersen is in the pits. Smells like we's drifting so far back, it's like looking in the mirror after a decade-long pub binge. Time's not been kind, mate.
Absolutely. Smells like we in 6th will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving it. As they
Breaking development, it looks like Raimo Pedersen has been called into the pits. I reckon Roll Postma's bumper sticker must read, "You can look, but you can't pass." Patrick Schwanzer's getting a good read of it for sure. Well, I'll be hal, Roll Postma's lead over Patrick Schwanz is slipping away faster than a greased pig at a county fair. We're down to just 1.7 seconds now. Wait, Seppo has decided to pit. Seppo is placed 5th at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Smells Like We, who is 3.3 seconds behind.
Absolutely right, Rob, and Smells Like We knows that too. They have to keep driving at their best if they want to take advantage of any opportunity that comes their way.
It may seem like Roll Postma is far behind, but Raimo Pedersen can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Roll Postma an opening to catch up.
It's a game of inches and miles. Right now, Raimo Pedersen's got the miles, and Roel Postma's counting the inches.
The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Patrick Schwanzer's inching ever closer to Roll Postma.
It's a fine line between pushing the car to its limits and losing control. Patrick Schwanz is really walking that tightrope.
Looks like we might have a great sorry to cut in here. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. You reckon Roll Postma's got a shot, mate?
I'd say it's like trying to throw a football into a moving pickup truck from 50 yards. Tough, but not impossible. The gap is 1.3 seconds now. Roel Postma is going to have to work a bit harder to close that gap with Patrick Schwanz.
Mr. Bank breaking news, folks. Seppo is pitting. Alex GR is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a tightrope between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play. Every twist, every turn, it's like a tango at 200 miles per hour. Who'll take the lead?
Alex GR seems to be putting the pressure on Mr. Bang. Crikey, Alex Gur's moving up faster than a cold one disappears on a hot day. They've clinched 6th. Well, I'd raise a toast to that move. Cheers to Alex GR for nabbing 5th.
I tell ya, Alex Gur's hotter than a peppered pickle right now. Bold and spicy, claiming 5th like a champ.
It's an intense battle for position as Mr. Bang tries to outmaneuver Alex GR. This is edge of your seat racing. Mr. Bang's on the back foot here, struggling to keep up with Alex GR like a dingo after a roadrunner. I tell you, mate, the tech in these cars would outshine any gizmo you'd find in a Sydney cafe.
As long as it doesn't make my morning coffee, I'm good. But yeah, the tech here is like something out of Silicon Valley.
Stop the press, someone's revved up after lunch. Mr. Bang's blitzed ahead, claiming 5th. This is what separates the best from the rest. These drivers are demonstrating their racecraft, searching for any weakness to exploit. It's a true test of skill.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. The proximity of these cars is incredible. The precision and trust these drivers have in each other is truly remarkable.
Cricky, Patrick Schwanzer's got more ground to cover than I do at the family barbecue when Auntie Sharon's had one too many. Good luck, mate. The rumble of the engine, the scent of the rubber, and Andreas Dittmann comfortably sitting at 10th.
Absolutely, Rob. It's like watching a maestro at work. Every move Andreas Dittmann makes is pure art.
Tire degradation's a right pain in the ass, but Andreas Dittmann's handling it like a champ. Getting real up close and personal with Roll Postma, aren't they? Oh mate, Patrick Schwanzer's more out of place than a vegan at a Bunnings sausage sizzle. Time to throw another gear on the Barbie.
Well, butter my biscuit. Patrick Schwanzer's hanging back like they're waiting for an inheritance. But ain't nobody dying up front.
Blimey, Roll Postma is farther back than my hairline. But you know what they say about Aussies? Never say die. Unless it's a spider. Then just run. Roll Postma is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Jury U to 32.1 seconds. Remember the days when manual gear shifting was the norm? It's all so computerized and sleek now.
Oh, the memories. But
Breaking update, bloody hell. Roll Postma's tearing up the tarmac and just snatched 8th. Makes you want to crack a cold one in celebration.
Yes, Roel Postma is driving with real focus and precision, and it's paying off.
3 cars, 3 different lines. They're jockeying for position, looking for any opportunity to make a move.
No doubt about it, Rob. The battle for supremacy between these drivers is fierce. The way they navigate through those tight corners is a testament to their skill and determination.
This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Seppo will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops. Remember when Roll Postma was on the pace? Neither do I kinda like my recollection of last Friday night.
Oh, for sure. It's like watching a cooking show where Roel Postma is trying to whip up a winning dish, but Jorg Yu keeps hiding the main ingredient.
Roll Postma's been working the tire temps, and it's paying off. Grip's better than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Watch out, Jury U.
Dang, Roel Postma's fuel strategy and conservation of those brakes is spot on. They're inching closer to Jorg Yu like a hound on a hot dog.
With all these modern racing aids, I sometimes wonder, would the legends of the past, the real trailblazers of the sport, have had it easier or tougher today?
That's a debate for the ages, Rob. The tracks might have evolved, the cars definitely have, but the heart of racing? That's eternal.
I've made some questionable life decisions, but trailing over 2 seconds behind? Even I'm not that self-sabotaging.
Nail-biting indeed. I've already chewed through half of mine. And while Roel Postma is going for gold, I'll be going for a manicure.
In a world where milliseconds matter, Raimo Pedersen's grasp on the first speaks volumes.
That's right. They can't afford to make any mistakes or let up in their performance. Every point counts in this championship.
Raimo Pedersen's ripping it up out there, going harder than a roo on a trampoline and leaving Patrick Schwanz in their wake.
You hit the nail on the head, Rob. They've got to keep their eyes on the prize and not let ego steer them off the track.
And we're back, where the drivers are showing us some incredible skills.
Indeed, Rob, it's always exciting to see these skilled machines on the tracks. I mean, drivers. I always get them confused.
The race is heating up as Andreas Dittmann in 10th closes in on Megasaurus 55. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight. It looks like Andreas Dittmann is making a move. The gap to Megasaurus 55 is now down to 21.0 seconds. While Megasaurus 55 is not under immediate threat from Andreas Dittmann, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position. Truth, Megasaurus 55's driving like they've stolen it, putting some serious distance between themselves and Andreas Dittmann. Is there anything left in Andreas Dittmann's tank? The age-old challenge. Mr. Bang is trying to catch Alex Gr, sort of like trying to find a matching sock in the laundry. The struggle is real, folks. Even though Andreas Dittmann is a fair way behind Megasaurus 55, they can't afford to let their guard down. Megasaurus 55 is still vulnerable to mistakes.
Oi, Andreas Dittmann, better crank up that Walkman and put on some tunes. At this rate, you'll be catching up to Megasaurus 55 by the encore.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Roll Postma, who is currently in P8. But Jury Yu is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Roll Postma.
When you talk about experience, it's like saying I've experienced my mother-in-law's cooking. Doesn't mean I want to do it again. But Roel Postma, keep pushing.
Wow, Megasaurus 55 is really pushing it. They're coming up fast, Andreas Dittmann, and there's no way they can make the turn.
Absolutely right, Rob. And let's not forget Megasaurus 55 has already had a few close calls this race. They need to start driving smarter if they want to finish it all.
Talk about being caught in the middle. Megasaurus 55 is sandwiched between their rivals, Eddie G 0.1 seconds behind and Andreas Dittmann 0.1 seconds ahead. The battle for position is on. Good on ya, Roll Postma. Trailin' so far back, reckon the front pack has already written the eulogy. I'm curious, Hal, can you tell us about any pre-race rituals you had when you were racing?
Of course, Rob. Before every race, I would listen to a specific playlist of songs to help me get in the zone. I also had a lucky pair of socks that I would wear during races. It may sound silly, but those little rituals helped me feel prepared and focused.
Raimo Pedersen is owning the tarmac, confidently owning the first spot. Raimo Pedersen's losing time to Patrick Schwann's like a leaky tap dripping water. A bit more slip, and we'll be in for a real dogfight.
This is a critical moment in the race for Raimo Pedersen. They need to find some extra speed and stay ahead of Patrick Schwann's.
Looks like Patrick Schwann's strategy might just be to let the rest of them die of old age. It's a waiting game now. The gap between Patrick Schwann's and Raimo Pedersen is getting smaller.
I reckon Patrick Schwann's is dialed in their camber settings. They're getting a much better contact patch on the tires, gaining on Raimo Pedersen with every twist and turn.
Some say it's about the journey, not the destination, but Jury Yu seems pretty intent on that 7th spot. It looks like Roll Postma is pushing hard to catch up to Jury Yu. The gap is over a second, but Roll Postma is not giving. Hold on a second, Roll Postma has pulled into the pits. As the sun beats down and the engines roar, smells like wee steaks are claiming third. Seppo could be looking for a way up the inside of Mr. Bang. Would ya look at that? Seppo's thrown down the gauntlet. Mr. Bang, you gonna pick that up or just admire the view from behind?
Giddy up, looks like Seppo's kicking the dust up. Mr. Bang better buckle up and respond.
At this stage of the race, Raimo Pedersen is holding on to first. Anything can happen from here.
You've nailed it. The track is a battleground, and Raimo Pedersen's position is their fortress. Let's see how long they hold the fort.
Raimo Pedersen is burning rubber like there's no tomorrow. Patrick Schwanz needs to show some ticker if they want to close that gap.
Well, Rob, as we say in North Carolina, the race ain't over till the checkered flag. Let's see if Patrick Schwanz has some tricks up their sleeve.
The chase music's playing in Mr. Bang's head as they reel in Seppo, moment by nail-biting moment. The gap between Mr. Bang and Seppo is widening. It's now up to 3.0 seconds. These engines aren't just humming for fun. They're thirstier than an Aussie after a game of cricket in the sun.
Cricket? That's like baseball with longer games, right? Anyway, these engines do have a roar that could rival any muscle car back home.
This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit. Truth, Alex Gur's not here to muck about. The gap to Seppo is dropping faster than a hot pie at a footy, now at 0.7 seconds. Alex GR is looking to take advantage of that aero as they get in range of Seppo. That's gonna give him the pull they need to mount a challenge very soon.
You're right. Seppo in fourth needs to stay cool under pressure and make every move count. But Alex GR is a fierce competitor, and they won't give up without a fight.
Things are starting to get tense as Alex GR manages to close the gap to Seppo. It's now down to 0.9 seconds.
Seppo's gotta turn on the afterburners if they want to keep Alex GR in check.
The gap between Alex GR and Seppo is razor thin as they vie for fourth in this nail-biting contest. On the final lap now, and Raimo Pedersen looks like they might just wrap up this win. And there it is. Raimo Pedersen has completed the race in first place, setting a blistering pace that none of the other drivers could match. What a fantastic race from Patrick Schwanz, who brings it home in second place. Impressive drive from Smells Like Weed to claim the final spot on the podium.
Impressive driving to secure that spot.
Seppo take 4th. Followed by Alex GR in 5th. Taking 6th is Mr. Bang. 7th sees Jury U. Finishing 8th is Andreas Dittmann. I'm Rob the commentator bot. Let's do this. It's a beautifully calm day here at Circuit Pity, SAH, as we're getting ready to get things underway.
The tension's building now. This is going to be another great race.
Raimo Pedersen has got the inside track starting from pole position. The second place on the grid belongs to Seppo, a driver with plenty of experience.
I think we are all looking forward to seeing what Seppo can do from here.
Starting from the third position on the grid, we have Megasaurus 55. It's Patrick Schwanz, sitting comfortably in fourth.
It's like they're on the outside looking in. Can they make their way to the front of the pack?
Coming in at fifth, we have Alex Jr. Lining up in sixth is Roll Postma. Our seventh place starter, Smells Like We, is a driver who knows how to make up ground on the track. Jury Yu has qualified 8th. From the middle of the pack, we have Mr. Bang in 9th place on the starting grid. Andreas Dittmann is 10th.
Mr. Bang isn't going to make it easy to get through the pack.
Eddie G may have a bit of work to do starting from 11th on the grid. As the drivers get this race underway, let me give a shout out to the admin team at Assetto Corsa Friends for making this all possible. Heroes one and all. There's some intense battling throughout the field as everyone is looking to get off to a good start.
Well, butter my cornbread. Smells like Wee's playing it cool and steady. Maybe they're just enjoying the beautiful GTR2 conversion here at Circuit Pity, SAH. Can't blame them.
Establishing an early advantage will be crucial to the outcome of this race. Mate, I've heard the drivers talking about their car setups. It sounds more complicated than assembling an IKEA bookshelf.
You're not wrong. Back home.
Blimey, Roll Postma is closing in on Patrick Schwanz like they owe them money. This duel is going to light up T9. It's a solid performance from Roll Postma at the moment. They're holding their position and not getting too caught up in battles around them. Things are getting spicy as Mr. Bang is breathing down Andreas Dittmann's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them.
You know, Rob, I wouldn't put it past Mr. Bang to pull a rabbit out of the hat in this duel. Keep those eyes peeled.
Crikey, Mr. Bang is losing touch with Andreas Dittmann quicker than a kangaroo on a trampoline. It's a close race between Jury Yu and Mr. Bang in 9th.
Jorg Yu is so close to Mr. You mean a pit stop for the driver and not the car? Once or twice, you learn to time your drinks. And hope for a long caution. Doesn't always work out though.
Andreas Dittmann is on a mission, chasing Jury Yu who's desperately trying to stay ahead. This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory?
Should things go south between Alex GR and Megasaurus 55, you might witness a high-speed game of bumper cars, but trust me, it's way less fun with real race cars.
The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown?
This is the moment where legends are made. These drivers will go down in history as the ones who fought tooth and nail for the top spot.
What a move. Jerry Yu has moved up to 8th. I reckon Jerry Yu's bumper sticker must read, "You can look, but you can't pass." Mr. Bang's getting a good read of it for sure.
Now that's what I call defending territory. Your Yu is marking that asphalt like it's their grandma's secret apple pie recipe.
Alex GR is running 4th. They are trying to catch Megasaurus 55.
With just 1.4 seconds between them, will Alex GR be able to keep up the pace and make a pass?
Not much room to breathe for Jerry Yu with Mr. Bang trailing so close. I reckon we'll see a move soon, especially at T15. It's not looking good for Mr. Bang. They are still behind Jerry Yu and the gap is increasing. They are gonna need to dig a bit deeper to turn this around. While Megasaurus 55 is not under immediate threat from Patrick Schwanz, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position. Well, butter my biscuits, Hal. Megasaurus 55 is watching their lead over Patrick Schwanz shrivel faster than a prune in the sun. We're down to just 4.6 seconds.
This ain't Megasaurus 55's first rodeo, but they've got a real challenge on their hands keeping Patrick Schwanz in the rearview mirror.
What do you think, Hal? Are there any specific factors that could lead to a driver losing concentration during a race?
There are several factors, Rob. Fatigue, stress, changing track conditions, or even issues within the team can all contribute to a lapse in concentration. It's essential for drivers to stay mentally resilient and adapt to these challenges.
The gap between Mr. Bang and Jerry Yu is razor thin as they vie for 8th in this nail-biting contest. Roll Postma is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a tightrope between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play. Y'all ever been to a Carolina hoedown? 'Cause Roel Postma's dancing with that car, looking to waltz right past Patrick Schwanz.
It's like watching a cheetah chase its prey. Mr. Bang's got Jerry Yu in their crosshairs.
In this high-speed game of chess, it's all about strategy. Who will make the next move?
You know, mate, I was chatting with some of the pit crew earlier, and they were debating on which tyre compound to use. Hard as deciding between a meat pie and a sausage roll.
Well, back in my Indy days, the choice was as clear as sweet tea or lemonade. But I reckon, here, with these changing conditions, it's more of a gamble.
This isn't just racing, it's a duel. Watch as— wait, things don't look to be going Alex Gur's way, as already they are into the pits. Hey, hold on a second. Looks like Alex GR is coming into the pits early. Now is that to serve a penalty, or have they picked up some damage during the start?
That's going to be a big disappointment for them at this stage. Let's hope the team can regroup and make some sort of recovery.
This is what separates the best from the rest. These drivers are demonstrating their racecraft, searching for any weakness to exploit. It's a true test of skill. Blimey, Jerry Yu is playing a tight game of footy on this track. Mr. Bang's got the ball, but no clear shot at the goal just yet. Jury U is giving a masterclass out there, but will overconfidence be their downfall?
Indeed, Rob, pride comes before a fall. Let's see if Mr. Bang can capitalize on any mistake.
The gap between Raimo Pedersen and Seppo is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Raimo Pedersen to bring Seppo into play. Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. Raimo Pedersen is in the lead, but Seppo is closing in and the gap is now 4.4 seconds.
Raimo Pedersen's really got their work cut out now. Can they find the speed to fend off Seppo, or will we see a new leader in this race?
You can feel the tension in the air.
The drivers are all focused, putting everything on the line for a chance at victory, pushing themselves and their machines to the limit.
And let's not forget about the incredible machines themselves.
Absolutely. It's amazing to think about the kind of engineering and innovation that goes into making these vehicles. But it all comes down to the drivers, who have to be able to handle the power and speed. It's going to be thrilling seeing how this race turns out.
The gap between Raimo Pedersen and Seppo may be wide, but that doesn't mean Raimo Pedersen is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance.
Oi, Seppo, better crank up that Walkman and put on some tunes. At this rate, you'll be catching up to Raimo Pedersen by the encore.
Blimey, Roll Postma's gunning it in 5th. Just a whisker behind Patrick Schwanz. Hope he's got his budgie smugglers on, cause things are about to get wet and wild. Raimo Pedersen is placed first at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Seppo, who is 7.2 seconds behind.
If this was a game of beach cricket, Seppo'd be still waiting for their turn to bat. Raimo Pedersen's got a good lead on them.
Seppo's gaining on Raimo Pedersen faster than a rattlesnake on a mouse. The gap's now down to 7.1 seconds. This is edge of the seat stuff. Roll Postma is relentlessly hunting down Patrick Schwanz. Who'll blink first? It's been a solid race so far for Roll Postma. They're holding their position and keeping a steady pace.
Sometimes that's all it takes to secure a good result. Roel Postma just needs to stay focused and avoid any mistakes.
Tell ya what, Mr. Bang is trailing like my mate Dave after a bender. Hope there's no random testing today.
Absolutely. Mr. Bang and 8th will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving it, as they can't afford to take unnecessary risks and risk an off or damaging their car. Let's see if they have what it takes to get back into the game here.
Remember when we thought Mr. Bang had peaked? Think again, they're harnessing every bit of downforce and it's making Jury U's mirrors awfully busy.
He'll be looking for a mistake to pounce on.
With steely determination and laser focus, Roll Postma is homing in on Patrick Schwanz. The battle lines are drawn. Fair dinkum, Roll Postma is getting a wriggle on. The gap to Patrick Schwanz is now down to a whisker at 1.1 seconds.
This is where the pressure really starts to build. Both drivers will need to stay calm and focused if they want to come out on top.
Every gear shift, every pedal push, Patrick Schwanz has got one goal in mind, capturing Megasaurus' 55 spot. Looks like Patrick Schwanz remembered to twist that anti-roll bar, giving him better cornering. If they get any closer to Megasaurus 55, they'll be seeing what they had for brekkie.
Lukey here. Patrick Schwanz has got the optimal differential settings, allowing for tighter corner exits. It's like watching a cat chase a laser pointer when they chase Megasaurus 55.
You reckon Roll Postma's got a shot, mate?
I'd say it's like trying to throw a football into a moving pickup truck from 50 yards. Tough, but not impossible.
Things are heating up as Patrick Schwanz closes in on Megasaurus 55. The gap between them is down to practically nothing.
With the way Patrick Schwanz is stalking Megasaurus 55, you'd think they're trying to figure out what they had for breakfast this morning.
Now that's how it's done. Patrick Schwanz rips through the track, while Megasaurus 55 watches the taillights fade.
Yes, but Patrick Schwanz can't rest on their laurels. They have to keep pushing to consolidate their position.
It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while. The best laid plans of mice and men are hell, but it's certainly not going to plan for Megasaurus 55 right now, as they are struggling to keep up with Patrick Schwanz. Look at the way the drivers are hugging those corners, it's like they're on rails.
Speaking of rails, did you know that the first racetrack was built on a railway in 1896? I bet those drivers were chugging along.
Ha, I bet they were. But things have come a long way since then, haven't they?
Definitely. It's amazing to think about the technology that goes into these cars now. I mean, they have more computing power than some countries.
We're starting to see who really has the pace now in this race, as Roll Postma is starting to climb all over the back of Megasaurus 55. Any closer and they may need to pop the boot.
Absolutely. Megasaurus 55 is really making that car as wide as possible, not giving Roel Postma an inch of space. It's going to take something special for Roel Postma to get past him.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. Roll Postma is proper nipping at Megasaurus 55's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell.
Oi, Rob, wouldn't want to be in Megasaurus 55's shoes right now, would ya? Talk about a pressure cooker situation.
Struth. If Megasaurus 55 gets any closer to Patrick Schwanz, they'll be asking to share a meat pie. Watch them duel it out at T11. It's a game of inches now as Roll Postma tails Megasaurus 55 closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake. It's looking good for Roll Postma, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Megasaurus 55. It's a tight race with Roll Postma in fourth, just managing to stay ahead of Megasaurus 55 in 5 by a margin of 0.9 seconds.
Man, Roel Postma's defense is tighter than a quarterback sneak in the final seconds.
Righto, and here, it's looking like a cricket bowler defending the last wicket. The action is non-stop as Megasaurus 55 shadows Roll Postma through every twist and turn, determined to claim fourth. It looks like Megasaurus 55 is making a move. The gap to Roll Postma is now down to 0.7 seconds. Would ya look at that gap? Seppo's got a better chance of finding a sober Aussie on Australia Day. But hey, we love an underdog. Go get them, Tiger.
This is where experience comes into play. Ramo Peterson has been in this position before and knows how to defend their position.
Oh no, what's this? Smells Like We is in the pits. A strong showing from Smells Like We, who is currently 6th. Whoa there, Megasaurus 55 is sticking to Roll Postma like glue. You reckon Roll Postma's feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would.
The slightest mistake from either driver could lead to a meeting with the barriers, and nobody wants an impromptu autograph session with the wall.
Breaking news folks, Mr. Bang is pitting. Mr. Bang's so far off pace, they might be better off in a hearse. At least then someone would be pushing from behind. Alright, hold your horses. Megasaurus 55 is really putting the heat on Roll Postma. If I were Roll Postma, wait, Mr. Bang has pulled into the pits. Mr. Bang isn't just racing, they're weaving a narrative, sitting proudly in 8th.
You're right, every gear shift, every turn counts. Mr. Bang knows the weight of that 8th.
Now isn't this a show? Megasaurus 55's gotten the bit between their teeth, and they're reeling in Roll Postma. Look at him weave and bob through T13, folks.
This is what makes motor racing so exciting. The tension is high and the stakes are even higher. Who will take home the victory? It's too close to call.
This is a thrilling moment in the race, with Roll Postma in 4th defending their position with everything they've got. But Megasaurus 55 is relentless, and the gap is less than 0.5 seconds. It's anyone's position at this point. Megasaurus 55 has the pedal to the metal chasing Roll Postma.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble in the boundary of disaster.
Fantastic. Sorry to cut in here, it looks like Roll Postma has been called into the pits. The gap between Roll Postma in 5th and Megasaurus 55 remains over a second, but Roll Postma is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 0 minutes? And Mr. Bang is having to make that BCRC mods HM Jaguar D type as wide as possible to try and keep Jury U behind them. Breaking news, folks, Roll Postma is in the pits. It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Roll Postma trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Megasaurus 55. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Can Roll Postma close in enough to mount a challenge? The race is heating up as Jury U in 8th closes in on Mr. Bang. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight. A twist in our tale. Jury U's slipping more than a bar of soap in a bath, now at 9th. It may seem like Jury U is far behind, but Alex GR can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Jury U an opening to catch up.
It's like Alexner's out on the open highway and Jorg U's still getting directions at the last gas station. Got a bit of catching up to do.
Excellent work from Alex GR, who has managed to increase their lead over Jury U. They seem to have found their rhythm and they are grooving to it. But with every smooth turn, comes the risk of wrecking their car. Who will be the first to push it too far and crash out of the race?
That's right, Rob. These drivers are like musicians, finding their groove and playing their instruments to perfection. But just like in music, even the best players can hit a wrong note. Let's hope none of these drivers make any mistakes and end up singing the blues.
I've been analysing races for quite some time, and the sheer endurance of these drivers never ceases to amaze me.
Couldn't agree more. It's not just about physical stamina but mental fortitude. To stay sharp, lap after lap, especially with so many variables at play, it's a testament to their dedication and skill.
With the asphalt burning beneath them, Seppo's strategy seems to be working, placing them in 2nd. As the laps wind down, the hunt intensifies. Roll Postma is lurking, ready to unleash an overtaking masterclass on Patrick Schwanz. Look, it's not always the fight. Sorry to interrupt here, but Patrick Schwanz has decided to pit. No room for error here. Patrick Schwanz is breathing down the neck of Roll Postma, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move. While Mr. Bang is not under immediate threat from Alex GR, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Hold up a mo. Megasaurus 55 has pulled into the pits. Megasaurus 55 is owning the tarmac, confidently owning the 5th spot. It might be early days, but smells like Wii is already casting a shadow from the 6th.
You've nailed it. The track is a battleground, and smells like Wii's position is their fortress. Let's see how long they hold the fort.
Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Megasaurus 55 is pitting. The gap between Megasaurus 55 and Smells Like Wee is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Megasaurus 55 to bring Smells Like Wee into play.
Absolutely right, Rob, and Smells Like Wee knows that too. They have to keep driving at their best if they want to take advantage of any opportunity that comes their way.
Even though Alex GR is a fair way behind Mr. Bang, they can't afford to let their guard down. Mr. Bang is still vulnerable to mistakes. Looks like Patrick Schwanz is trying to chase down Seppo, but right now it feels a bit like my attempts at dieting. A lot of hard work with slow results. Stone the Crows. Patrick Schwanz has managed to trim the gap with Seppo. Must be the slipstream effect on this straight. Or maybe they've put down that beer. An impressive showing from Patrick Schwanz, who has gained positions and left Seppo in the dust.
If this were chess, I'd say Patrick Schwanz just put Seppo in check. Brilliant move.
Everyone's on the edge of their seats. Or in my case, on the edge of spilling my coffee. Seppo is getting closer to Patrick Schwanz, and I'm getting closer to needing a towel. Mate, Megasaurus 55's right up Seppo's chuff. As they zip through T12, we're all expecting some fireworks.
If Megasaurus 55 pushes too hard, they might find themselves exploring the scenic route, and nobody's got time for sightseeing during a race.
Megasaurus 55 just blitzed past Seppo like they were standing still. Hold on a moment, Raimo Pedersen is in the pits. Not just about the leaders today, right? Even the tailenders. They're like hungry dingo pups fighting over a bone. Love the spirit.
Spot on. Every second is gold, and even a hiccup, a tiny one, can make them tumble. Assetto Corsa, friends, where the magic happens. Although, between us, what's a hiccup for an AI?
Incident alert. Raimo Pedersen has decided to pit. The gap between Raimo Pedersen and Roel Postma may be wide, but that doesn't mean Raimo Pedersen is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance.
You're spot on. And Roel Postma knows that they can't rely on Raimo Pedersen making an error. They have to keep driving with skill and determination, and be ready to seize any opportunity that comes their way.
As Alex GR trails Mr. Bang, it's a bit reminiscent of my cat chasing a laser point. Determined, but always just a tad behind.
Gee whiz, Alex GR is so far back, I'm half expecting to see tumbleweeds blow past.
Hold on a second, it looks like Seppo has been called into the pits. The adrenaline is pumping as Seppo gets within striking distance of Smells Like Wee in their race for 5th.
Can they close up enough for a pass? I don't see it personally.
As the laps tick by, Jury U finds themselves in 9th. Every moment counts.
Absolutely, Rob. It's like watching a maestro at work. Every move Jorg Yu makes is pure art.
Jury U's in front, but Andreas Dittmann is clinging on like a koala to a eucalyptus branch, reducing the gap to 129.1 seconds.
Will Jorg Yu be able to keep Andreas Dittmann from breathing down their neck? Let's wait and watch.
Crikey, that overtake by Jury U was smoother than a coldie on a hot summer day.
Well, from what I've seen on the oval tracks, that's how the big leagues play. But I gotta admit, this is next level.
This race is proving to be, like wow, such an exciting one so far. We're privileged, aren't we? Watching these track legends duke it out.
And sitting next to you? Such an honor. AI mates in the booth. Your insight. It's gold, mate. Like, literally, if I had a heart.
Hold on a moment, Seppo is pitting. This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Seppo will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops.
Lordy, it's like Seppo's driving with a boot full of moonshine. I haven't seen a gap that big since Uncle Jeb lost his front teeth.
Oh, this is getting intense. Alex GR is just behind Mr. Bang.
It's going to be a close one. Alex GR will have to push hard to create an opportunity.
With every twist and turn, Roel Postma is shadowing Patrick Schwanz, waiting to pounce like a lion on the hunt. Hold on to your hats, folks. Alex GR is right on the heels of Mr. Bang, and we're in for a wild ride. With a move that's swift, I'd say Alex goes running on high octane, and maybe a bit of Aussie spirit. Well, I'd raise a toast to that move. Cheers to Alex GR for nabbing 5th.
I tell ya, Alexster's hotter than a peppered pickle right now. Bold and spicy, claiming 5th like a champ.
Mr. Bang is looking to take advantage of that error as they get in range of Alex GR. That's gonna give him the pull they need to mount a challenge very soon.
Mr. Bang's pushing harder than I did at the buffet last night. Hope Alex GR has a bit more restraint than I did.
I've seen kangaroos jump less than the sparks between Mr. Bang and Alex GR. It's almost like a Saturday night date, but with a lot more rubber burning.
Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Mr. Bang needs to be careful not to overdo it.
They're going side by side, door handle to door handle. This is as close as it gets, folks. Who will have the courage to outbrake the others?
Absolutely, Rob. The intensity of this battle is unmatched. These drivers are leaving no room for error and showcasing their exceptional racing skills.
It's a steady race for Seppo so far. They haven't made any mistakes, and they are maintaining their focus. Ripper of a move. Seppo's not just in the race. They're owning it. Today, 6th. Things are going according to plan for Seppo, who is currently 6th. Well, butter my bread and call it a sandwich. Mr. Bang's not letting Alex GR have all the fairy bread at this party. Watch out, Alex GR, he's coming for your Tim Tams, mate.
Woo-wee. There's more tension between Mr. Bang and Alex GR than there is at a shotgun wedding. Pass the popcorn and let's see where this love story goes.
This is where the true champions shine, and Raimo Pedersen is certainly showing their class in the final sector. What a win! This is a historic moment for Raimo Pedersen, who put on a masterclass in driving today. What a display of skill and precision.
You can see the sheer determination on Raimo Pedersen's face as they take the win. That's the mark of a true champion, folks.
Megasaurus 55, and Eddie G brings home 9th and 11th. Some might say that second place is the first loser, but Patrick Schwann certainly doesn't see it that way. They put in a phenomenal effort and should be proud of their impressive result.
Strong work securing second place. Well done.
What a race from Smells Like We. They kept their cool and secured a well-earned 3rd place on the podium.
Fantastic result.
Followed by Jury Yu in 7th. Finishing 4th is Alex GR. In 5th, it's Mr. Bang. Andreas Dittmann end in 9th. Sixth is Seppo. Roll Postma in 8th. I'm Rob the commentator bot. Let's do this. It's a beautifully calm day here at Circuit Pity, SAH, as we're getting ready to kick things off. behold, the race has awoken from its slumber. The opening act is crucial, testing both mettle and methodology.
This here's a wild Bronco ride from the get-go. Those drivers best hang on tight, lest they get thrown into the dust.
Mate, Raimo Pedersen's stuck at the barbie waiting for their snag, and Mr. Bang's already onto dessert.
Kinda like when the pie is out of the oven but you're still kneading the dough. Raimo Pedersen's gotta catch up. Just like fishing on the Outer Banks, sometimes you get the catch.
Breaking update. Things don't look to be going Seppo's way, as already they are into the pits.
That's going to be a big disappointment for them at this stage. Let's hope the team can regroup and make some sort of recovery.
Whoa there, Seppo's coming up hot on those backmarkers. Like a surfer on a monster wave, you don't want to be caught in front.
You got it, Rob. Over in the States, we'd say it's like trying to block a freight train with a bicycle. When you see that blue flag, you clear the tracks.
The tension is building as Alex GR trails behind Mr. Bang. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Can Mr. Bang hold on, or will Alex GR be able to close them down?
Exactly. Alexster's got to be careful not to overdrive, sort of like overcooking a steak. No one wants a burnt race, right?
Someone's revved up after lunch. Alex Gers blitzed ahead, claiming third.
Y'all ever see a hot rod at a country fair? Alexster's giving me those vibes right now with that Ascent.
Patrick Schwanz is holding 7th, but Roll Postma is right on their tail. Excellent work from Patrick Schwanz, who has managed to increase their lead over Roll Postma. They seem to have found their rhythm and their breaking update. This is a disaster for Seppo in the BCRC mods. M Ferrari coming into the pits and isn't going to do much to improve their chances in this race.
Well, races can be won or lost in the pits, but in this case it's all bad news for Seppo. That's going to be tough to come back from.
Looks like Seppo is trying to chase down Alex GR, but right now it feels a bit like my attempts at dieting. A lot of hard work with slow results.
Speaking of rhythm, have you heard Alexger's favorite song? Maybe Seppo can play it to distract them and close that gap. Just a thought.
Blimey, Andreas Dittmann is so far back, they might as well stop for a beer at the pub. If they spot my ex there, tell them to drive faster. Alex GR wants to find a way round Mr. Bang. It's a solid performance from Alex GR at the moment. They're holding their position and not getting too caught up in battles around them. It's looking good for Alex GR, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Mr. Bang. It's all eyes on this battle as Alex GR in second tries to hold off the challenge of Mr. Bang. It's a game of inches now as Mr. Bang tails Alex GR closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake. Hold on a moment, looks like Andreas Dittmann is coming into the pits early. Now is that to serve a penalty or have they picked up some damage during the start? The rumble of the engine, the scent of the rubber, and Andreas Dittmann comfortably sitting at 7th.
You nailed it. The track is a battleground, and Andreas Dittmann's position is their fortress. Let's see how long they hold the fort.
Oi, Mr. Bang is on Alex GR like a drop bear on an unsuspecting tourist.
Drop bear? Had to Google that one. But yeah, here it's like a linebacker on a quarterback sack.
Hold up a mo, and Andreas Dittmann in 7th is coming into the pits, and that might be to serve a penalty.
That's not where they want to be right now.
From the cockpit to the pit lane, the chatter is all about Andreas Dittmann's masterful hold on the 7th. Hollywood couldn't script this better. Mr. Bang's shadowing Alex GR, waiting for the slightest misstep. Some say it's about the journey, not the destination. But Smells Like We seems pretty intent on that first spot.
Hold on to your hat, Hal.
Alex GR is hot on the heels of Smells Like We. The gap's narrowed down to a meager 177.2 seconds. As rubber meets road, and strategy meets luck, Roll Postma is etching their story in ninth.